You know, I don't know about you, but it feels like my groceries are just evaporating lately. I swear I'm not eating more, so what's the deal?
I mean, you know that feeling, right? You grab that big family size bag of chips on Monday.
And you're thinking, okay, this will last us the whole week. It was a sure thing.
But now it's Wednesday night, you reach in for a handful, and all you find is air and a few lonely crumbs at the bottom. Well, let me tell you, it is not your imagination. You're definitely not alone in this. Yeah, that sneaky feeling actually has a name. It's called shrinkflation. And it's not an accident, it's 100% a deliberate strategy. Companies are making their products smaller, but they're betting you won't notice because that price tag on the shelf, it looks exactly the same.
And look, this isn't just a hunch or a gut feeling. Researchers have been tracking this for years, and the data tells a really, really clear story. So let's actually look at the proof. Okay, so what you're seeing here is over a decade of grocery data all crunched into one chart. Each bar is a different product category. The red bars, that's how many products got smaller. The blue ones show how many got bigger. I mean, just look at it. From candy and snacks to laundry detergent and toilet paper, the red bars are just towering over the blue ones. Downsizing is happening pretty much everywhere. And this chart, this is where you can really see the trick. So the line going left to right shows the size change. Moving left means the product got smaller. The up and down line shows the price change. Do you see how all those dots are clustered right around that zero line? It means even as products shrink by 10, 15, even 25%, the price barely budges. You are absolutely getting less, but you're not paying less. So here's where the unit price becomes so important. Let's just do the quick math. The old bag of chips, right? 10 ounces for $4.99. That's about 50 cents an ounce. The new shrunken bag is still $4.99, but now you're only getting 8.5 ounces. Well, that means you're now paying almost 59 cents an ounce. That is a 17% price increase, just hidden in plain sight. And when you zoom out and look at the entire store, the effect is just undeniable. This chart shows the change in the price per volume for products that have shrunk. I mean, look, almost every single bar is above zero. From cosmetics to coffee to crackers, you're paying more for less. Wait a minute, they shrunk it again? Why does this keep happening? It just feels so sneaky. It's not some grand conspiracy, but it is a very calculated business decision. And it's all based on a mix of psychology and plain old economics. It really boils down to three main drivers. First, they're trying to avoid sticker shock. We're just way more likely to get annoyed and not buy something if the price jumps from, say, $4.99 to $5.49 than if the bag just feels a little lighter. Second, there's a ton of pressure to stay at that familiar price point on the shelf. And third, their own costs for ingredients, for shipping, for packaging are all going up, and they have to pass those costs on to us in the quietest way they can. And the research totally backs this up. One study found we are almost 3 times more sensitive to a direct price hike than we are to a change in a product's size. And believe me, companies know this. They've learned that shrinking the product is just a much more effective way to protect their profits without scaring away shoppers. Okay, so we know it's happening, we know why, but what can we actually do about it when we're standing in the grocery aisle? Right? Let's get to the payoff. Here is a super simple 10-second method you can use to spot shrinkflation in the wild. It's just 3 easy steps. First, and this is a big one, ignore the size of the box. It can be super misleading. Instead, look for the actual net weight or the item count, usually printed in a tiny corner. Second, and this is the most important part, check the unit price right there on the shelf tag. That little number tells you the cost per ounce, per pound, or per 100 grams. It's the great equalizer. It lets you compare apples to apples. And third, get a little suspicious when you see a big redesign. A flashy, new and improved look is often just code for new and smaller size. Honestly, if you remember just one thing from all this, make it this. The unit price doesn't lie. Always, always check it. Now, this whole topic, it brings up some pretty common questions, right? So let's do a quick rapid fire round and tackle the big ones. Okay, so the first thing everybody asks is, wait, how is this even legal? I mean, isn't it just tricking people? So most of the time, it's actually not illegal. As long as the company accurately prints the new, smaller net weight on the package, they're technically following the letter of the law. That said, some governments are starting to push back. In France, for instance, there are new rules now that require stores to put a special notice right on the shelf for 2 months, explicitly telling shoppers, hey, this product got smaller.
Right. And the other question I hear all the time is, if companies are doing this because their costs are going up, then isn't shrinkflation just inflation, but with a fancier name?
That's exactly right. You can think of it as a hidden, disguised form of inflation. The overall upward pressure on prices is real, but shrinkflation is just how that pressure shows up without actually changing the price tag you see. Your dollar is literally buying you less product, which is the textbook definition of inflation.
So, the most important thing here is that knowledge is power. You now have the 10-second detection method. You know to ignore the flashy box and focus on that all-important unit price. So the real question, the final question, is for you. Now that you can see the hidden price hike, will you change how you shop?